Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. And this morning, I'm actually recording this one same day. The football games were too good yesterday to not watch. Did pretty well. Making the picks for the games. All four of my picks won. So three of them being underdogs. It was pretty exciting. But anyways, I'm going to have a quick conversation this morning just on grading, PSA specifically. Um, I really like that they're putting out a lot more information directly. So this is their Instagram page. Over the past couple months now, I think they've been PSA by the numbers. They've been giving us data direct to us. There's a lot of different websites out there. GemRate is one that I follow personally. They have an Instagram where they just scrape the PSA pop report. This is getting it right from the source though. So, I mean, even better yet. So yeah, what we're looking at here in 2021, they graded 8.067 million cards. They've stated before they have intentions to scale up to 20. They're not quite to 10 yet. This is massively up from prior years. So they've already gone up multiple times what they used to do. I'll be interested to see if they're able to get to the 20 million. But yeah, that's where they stand currently. See if I can navigate to the next. Okay. So one thing that they're currently doing, and in a perfect world, I mean, I still have thousands of cards at PSA from 2020. In a perfect world, they would have 100% of their capacity going to the backlog until it was done, especially when millions of cards have been out for over a year. But they are stating, at least it's transparency, I'll give them that, 80% of their overall capacity will continue to be dedicated to the backlog. So doing some quick math, they're doing about 8 million cards a year. That's somewhere right around 40,000 cards per business day. So of those 40,000 cards per business day that they're doing, about 8,000 of them are servicing new orders at the economy levels and above. And then the remainder of that 32,000 cards a day are just attacking this massive backlog that they built up. So it's not letting me tab through when I'm clicked into the link. But anyways, this is what I wanted to get to. One of the main things, recording this on the 24th. So the 20th has already passed. But what PSA is doing is, so to the public, or maybe you need to be a member, $100 per card and up is open. That's fully open. You can submit to it at your leisure. It's kind of a frustrating process, which I'll work through, but it's also nice. It's nice that they're just not opening the floodgates at $50 per card and allowing the backlog to build quicker than they're able to grade through those cards. Because again, if they start taking in more than 40,000 cards per day, when they can only grade 40,000 cards per day, backlog goes up, everything gets pushed out further. So props to them for releasing them in this way, giving people access potentially at the $50 per card, 50% discount to what's fully open for anyone to submit to. And they are stating a 90-day turnaround time, but I haven't gotten mine back from a prior event from late December. But I have heard both the $100 tier and the $50 tier are being advertised as 90-day turnaround times, and they're delivering them quite a bit quicker from what I've heard, anecdotal. But it's good to under promise and over deliver. I think that is the way forward. They've if you look through these comments, and if you look through a lot more, there's a lot of people asking, yeah, where are my cards from 12 plus months ago? So under promising and over delivering is a very good path forward, in my opinion. And they seem to be taking that route. So anyways, these are the dates and times. First one's already passed. I'm on the East Coast. So noon tomorrow, there will be another event, and 7 p.m. Thursday. As it's stated here, 1 hour prior to the start times above, you can enter the waiting room. And the way the waiting room works, I've seen a lot of people ask, is it first come, first serve? If I'm first in line, will I get? No, it's, as far as I understand, and I'm pretty sure I understand it properly, they'll put up a link in their story, and I'll show you on the next page on their Twitter at about an hour before these times. That takes you through I think it's called Crowd Handler. And you go into the room, thousands of people enter the room anywhere between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. And then at 12 p.m., it takes a minute or two, but you'll be randomly generated a number in the queue. And then depending on how many slots they're giving out that day, if you're in the first X amount, you'll get it. If not, you won't. And I'll show you kind of the screens you'll run into if and when we get there. So yeah, if you have no cards to submit at $50 a card, if that's still a lot of money. I do have, they've been doling these out so far in 5-card allowances, I guess. I don't know. They're not openly stating beforehand. I don't know, but this one was definitely 5. The one in December was 5. Presumably the next 2 will be as well, but we really don't have any way of knowing until we get there, I guess. So I'm going to queue in, I'm going to see what happens. But as you'll see in one of these later images, I'm not on Twitter, but as I mentioned, like they'll make a post, waiting rooms open, click the link. If you're on Instagram, it'll be via a story and it'll take you to the Crowd Handler website. If I click on this now, nothing, it'll go to a page because the event's over. It won't, it's not like an active link right now. So once you've clicked into that Crowd Handler link, anytime within the hour window, earlier isn't better, you don't need to actively do anything. So like I'm active in a few different Discords, and I guess I'll shout out quickly the Patreon, Pokenomics Patreon, that I'm a partner to with Jake. I was in our Discord and there was a lot of confusion. Having done the event in December, I kind of like let people know, hey, you can just open this up, get that Crowd Handler link, get into the Crowd Handler, and then at noon, you don't need to like be actively doing anything. You don't need to have cards ready to submit. You're going to get an event. You're going to get the event is now live notification. It'll take a minute or two for this to pop up, as it says here. Don't refresh, don't close, don't go, but you don't need to actively, like, you don't need to watch your screen for an hour. You can open up anytime in that hour window before, open up your window. And then if and when you're in the first, like say they're giving out 2,000 slots, 5 cards each. You don't need to be there doing anything. You'll get to the front of the queue and it'll just say, boom, you've got your 5 submissions. And again, you don't need to have cards ready to submit. You don't need to actively submit them. You'll watch this number count down, ideally to 0, where you'll then get your cards. Sometimes you'll watch this count down to like, I started at 3,000 and somewhere around 1,500, I think it was, let me go to the next page. I got this beautiful screen. So if you're successful though, I don't know if I saved that. Okay, I guess I didn't save that, but if you're successful, you have, I believe it's 14 or 15 days. You have about 2 weeks to enter the cards, and that'll be shown in your account on PSA. You'll actually be able to go in, and when you go to like the submission, when you go to build a submission, you'll see, yeah, sorry, I'm pulling it up on another screen over here. I'll show it here. So you'll see like that you have a certain amount allocated. I had 5 allocated from the December event. Unfortunately, I didn't have any success on January 20th, but you will get like you can start a new submission and you'll see down here that you have 5 allocated for your use at the economy tier. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. From my end, frustrating side was like I was number 3,000. Presumably they gave out less than 3,000 slots because I wasn't successful in getting one. It would have been nice if it just immediately told you. But what happened for me was my 3,000 counted down. And again, I was active on Discord. I was talking to people. I wasn't just sitting here watching the screen thinking I needed to do something. But some people were, I think. So it took me like 30 minutes to get from 3,000 down to about 1,500. And then boom, event full. Like, why would it take 30 minutes to tell me that I'm not in the top X amount of people and I'm not getting anything? Like, I would think we have the technology to just, okay, crowd handler, random number generator, everyone who got 2000 or lower, boom, you've got your 5. Everyone who's got 2001 or higher, boom, event full, like done within minutes. I mean, you'd think that would be able to happen, but it took me 30 minutes to get there. So kind of a frustrating thing. You don't need to sit and watch it though. I sat and had it up in a separate screen, separate browser while I was chatting with people, hanging out, going crazy over this event. So it's pretty funny and kind of sad what PSA has gotten us, where we've gotten to with PSA. Because for me personally, I've been a collectors club member since 2014, since I got back into the hobby. Not everyone is though. So I've been paying that. I don't even know what it costs anymore. 100, 200, 250 bucks a year. Some amount of people, because I guess I should have said this earlier in the video. Not everyone's going to be here still, but you need to be a member to be eligible to potentially win these slots at $50 a card. So my experience was bad in that I didn't get any, but at least I didn't pay for the opportunity to not get any. There were dozens, hundreds, thousands. I have no idea how many people, but a lot of people paid the $100 membership tier to be eligible for this event. And I know of a handful personally who paid for it, didn't get any. And there's 2 more events, so hopefully they'll luck out. I don't know if PSA is making it so that if you got them in the first one, you can't in the next 2. I don't think they've publicly stated that either way. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with PSA. People are literally just paying to have the opportunity to submit at $50 a card. It's kind of obscene where we're at, that people are begging for these scraps. And for me personally, like I have thousands of cards out at PSA for less than $10 per card submission fees from over a year ago. And so for me to be sending in 5 cards, paying 50 bucks a piece to jump the queue ahead of those thousands that I have there from prior, I really wish they would get further along the backlog, but at least don't go down from the 80%, stick with the 80% on the backlog, I hope. And anyone who caught it a little bit ago, that's kind of my whole PSA talk about these events, kind of mixed in with a rant there. And again, these are the next 2 events. One's tomorrow morning, lunchtime, if you're on the East Coast, and then the other one's Thursday evening. This was just a funny, since I kind of knew this was going to turn into a rant video. PWCC ended last night. The football games were too good. The auction block was too bad. I didn't even watch it. I hopped into voice for a little bit in the Patreon Discord, but this was really funny. So last night, you can see here, I got a text from PWCC about the auction block ending. Get in your extended bids. Extended bids start at 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm Eastern, so it's 10 p.m. Eastern. Well, you can see it's already 10:46 p.m. when I got this. I got the text about the auction block getting in a pre-bid after the pre-bidding already closed. So it was already an extended bidding here. PWCC sending out these text messages trying to advertise, get more bidders up and on. And then they're doing it. It was just a funny thing I figured I'd throw in to close out the video. PWCC just few hours late with their notification trying to get bidders over there. But one last thing for anyone who stuck around till the very end, I wanted to show it. I'll probably record another video later this week, but so PWCC switched from a monthly auction to a weekly. It is what it is. Not only that, though, they don't run from Sunday to Sunday. They actually run from Thursday to Sunday, 10-day auction. So you think, okay, 3 more days for people to get eyes on it, 3 more days for people to go in and get bids. And I think that's fine. But one interesting thing that it leads to is if I log on Sunday as the bids are closing, not only can I see what's closing that night, I can see what's closing the next Sunday. So say I've got a card next to me, so I'll grab this one. Say I'm after like a CGC 9 grand party. My thinking, and let me know in the comments below if this is reasonable or unreasonable. If I see one of these ending tonight while I'm here bidding, but also ending next week, that makes me think in my mind, this card, hey, I've got another shot. So let me be a bit more conservative in my bidding tonight because I can go get it next week. I think that would have a negative effect on prices overall. Like as someone buying, it makes me feel like, hey, I've got another shot. So I might bid less. As someone who is selling through PWCC on occasion, I don't really like the thought of people potentially bidding more conservatively on mine, knowing that there's more next week, potentially. Depending on what you're selling, there might not be more the next week, but I think that's an interesting thing, having two auctions live at the same time. Interesting being like a negative thing for prices. Let me know what you think. I might be off base there, but I think that's a reasonable assumption about like buyer behavior given the way they're doing it. But yeah, I figured I'd throw the PWCC thing in there at the end because PWCC and PSA are both kind of the love-hate relationship. They do a lot of things for the hobby, and I think they're overall have a great effect, but they just do some really dumb things a lot of times. So yeah, that's enough ranting for this morning. You'll see this video in a couple hours. So I will catch you all later.